needless to say, it's been a minute. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, anyone who's in between. It is good to be back. I have not made a dedicated YouTube video in quite a while. Now, this was a particular Kremlin game I had during the recent rank season. I didn't rank out, I just didn't have time, and honestly, I just didn't care enough at this point. But this was a really good game that really kind of shows off Russian balance at its finest. So I figured I'd pull out this video, sit down with you guys, and talk about what's been happening as we look through what is probably one of my most impressive games of late. If you haven't heard, I have officially left Wargaming North America. I'd like to kind of put a few things at rest regarding this because there's a little bit of speculation why I did or the circumstances around it. First and foremost, I was really overworked. For a long period, I was the only community manager for the North America side, and that really did put a toll on me, both mentally and physically. I was exhausted all the time, and I just wasn't really having as much fun as what I was once before. I'd been looking around at other offerings here in Austin, and I was offered a position by another gaming company that really spoke to my skills and was something that I was actually really excited to get involved with. So I left Wargaming voluntarily. There is absolutely no bad blood there. I wish the team nothing but the best and hope that they succeed going forward into Anchors Away this year and other endeavors they're working on. But I've been at my new company just under a month at this point, and so far my health is better, my happiness is better, and ultimately I've come back to actually enjoying playing World of Warships a lot more than what I previously was while I was still with the company. Now, since we're in a battleship and it does take us a moment to get into the actual game and into the fighting spirit here, I would just like to also clear up a few things that a lot of people asked me both while I was with World of Warships and even after the fact. So, no, I had nothing to do with the CV rework in any way, shape, manner, or form. Yes, I was hired beforehand, but I had nothing to do with its development. I am not a developer, I was very much community-based. It was no secret that the new style of CVs weren't my favorite. Now, that's not to say it wasn't the right move for the game. I still think it definitely was. But that just doesn't change the fact that it's simply not my playstyle. In the same way that flight simulator games are not my playstyle. I just don't enjoy them. That's all my issue was with the new CVs, is they were fine in terms of for the health and longevity of the game. I just didn't enjoy playing them. It is what it is. One of the benefits for me personally of the change for CVs is it actually pushed me into playing other ship types more. Now, don't get me wrong, I still absolutely suck at playing destroyers, but I've at least got marginally okay at playing battleships. I do still really enjoy the secondaries because they are slightly easy mode, so think your Massachusetts, your Georgias, even your Kremlin to a certain degree. And while I haven't shown it off too well at the very start of this game at least, I have gotten a lot better at shooting within them. For those of you who are not familiar with the Russian battleships, their shooting quality is they're not great at long range, and at close range their armor profiling means they are quite susceptible to getting hit and shot quite nastily. However, if you can kind of get within the happy zone of what I found to be between about 10 and 15 Ks, you can absolutely wreak havoc in them. Now, for me, this is like my perfect happy zone. I like kind of being that more forward battleship. That, and I have a tendency of overextending. If you've watched any of my streams recently, you'll know that is a trait that comes up quite early. Now, since we are playing ranked, killing destroyers is important, and kind of being aware of where the destroyers are is also super important. So yes, I do start shooting at the destroyer. I swap my ammo over to HE, understanding that I will probably get a reload in, but no. My team absolutely decimated, dominated that destroyer before I even had a chance to get that reload. I think at this stage I was actually still on stream, so I may have forgotten to reload the HE at this point. Not really sure. Either way, I was going around the island, so I wasn't ultra concerned about that reload just yet. I was also considerate of the fact that a lot of the targets towards me minus that particular one I'm about to shoot at, were actually sitting quite narrow into me. As you see here, I make the realization and I go ahead and I swap back to AP. But enough to get a good butt shot on the back of that battleship. Looking around, I'm trying to work out where exactly my team is dispersing to and where I can potentially get some good angled shots in now that I've got that AP reloaded. While taking big shots, or not so big shots. Look at you there, buddy. Haven't you ever been told that you don't crawl out super slow? Broadside to a Russian battleship. That is how you guaranteed get that big smack. And that is how we managed to land that citadel on the side of that Montana just there. And this is really where the fun of this game really picks off and kicks off for me, with citadels coming left, right, and center. While I keep glancing back to my left to look for torpedoes, I know that Montana is driving pretty much straight lining across there, so I'm keeping my guns aimed on that side to really kind of capitalize on the situation as I get another 2 citadels and over 30k damage. Gotta love them citadels. Right on the side, nice and flat. If you get hit by a citadel once, ladies and gentlemen, it's usually a good time to change your heading, even slightly, to adjust that angle. Here's where I use a little bit of a judgment call, and knowing that my guns have the trajectory to mostly get over that island, I try and hit another little bit, but at that point, that Montana has turned out and realized the mistake of his ways for at least the first minute, with our Montana then finishing him off with fire. But we still did the biggest part of 60 to 70k on him before he went down. I've never been one to claim that I am the best in the game, but I do understand base mechanics very well, and if a ship is broadside, there's a good chance you can citadel it. That was my approach when shooting in the Hawaii there. While yes, he was turned out slightly, I had majority of the wide side of a ship, aka the broadside showing, so I figured there's a pretty good chance I'm going to get a citadel, so let's give it a whirl. Now the Yamato, on the other hand, you are also sailing very flat to me, my friend, and I know your secret spot is right in the cheek. So let's give that a go. He moves slightly out, but we still got some pretty decent pins in there as we went round. Now, remember earlier how I said I have a tendency to overextend? I kind of did here a little bit, but luckily I did it in such a way that, at least in this situation, it worked out okay. 3 of my team is up there with me, 2 cruisers and 1 of the DDs, so I have enough support to kind of overextend in a beneficial way here. Or at least that's how I justify it to myself. We do know there's a destroyer right here because we do have that smoke cloud, and with torpedoes coming in, I do slow down and turn inwards to avoid them. It's too soon to try and reload into HE, so might as well shoot the HE shot and see what we can get. Even though you won't be doing most efficient damage, some damage is better than no damage, so I do get a little, just over a K off the Shimakaze there, and we'll go for round 2 with the back guns, and luckily get a much better shot and finish him off there. Now both DDs off the board, our likelihood of getting hit by torpedoes has gone down significantly. Also from this position, moving around, we've regained our broadside shots onto the Ohio and Yamato. So we're in a pretty good position now. That is one thing that I have definitely picked up over the last few months in terms of getting better at World of Warships, is don't just look at the position you're in now, look at the position you want to be in to best capitalize off your enemy's position. That is, in this position, I've managed to get broadside around far enough on them that I can actually start getting some pretty decent shots, as was that extra 40k I just took off the Yamato's cheek. Not too shabby, hey? See? Not just a pretty face. I have half an idea of what I'm doing sometimes. As I mentioned before, the Yamato's got this lovely spot known as its cheek, whereas if you get the shots just in there, you can do some pretty nasty damage. Now the cheek you can find just forward of its first turret, right in the middle bit, right about there. Yeah, that looks good. Send our back guns over, another citadel, another pen, another 14k. I do identify that he is starting to go into reverse as per his smokestack, That's why I do adjust my aim a little bit further back to account for that. A few of my secondaries go off. One of my teammates do secure the kill for me, but that's okay, because I've already farmed a good 70k damage off him as well. My damage now over 226,000. And what do we have here? If it isn't that Ohio. And what is he doing? He's still broadside to me. I'm able to maintain a pretty small angle towards him, capitalizing on predominantly using my front two guns and not swinging out too wide. That is one thing with the Kremlin. If you swing out too wide to try and get that third gun around, you're going to open up way too much of your broadside and consequently get hit in return. It's much better to just focus on your front two guns for majority of the time and save your health in place. Just collecting those citadels, one after the other. Yes, sir, I will please take another one of those. Well, yes, he is kind of hitting me like no one's business right now. After his main salvo comes out, I swing my back around to get the front guns off. Didn't quite get the aim right there, but that's okay, it happens. Before turning back inwards. This is called dancing around shots, or that's what I'm deciding to call it right this second. It's a case of timing your movements between the enemy shots. You don't typically see it occurring so much in battleships, but more so cruisers. It's effectively making sure that you're at your most vulnerable position when your enemy is in the middle of their reload. That is, every time that the enemy has shot, after his shot has come and hit you, that is when you turn one way or the other. Once again, one of my teammates helps secure down the Ohio, so we don't need to worry about them. And now we've got this lone Henri doing what the French do best and running away to the border, hoping for reinforcements that just aren't to come. This is probably where I struggle most and where you'll see my aim kind of deteriorating a little bit in terms of now's a really good time to eat some friendly torpedoes. Haven't eaten any enemy ones all game, but you know what? Let's eat some friendly ones. With the game almost over, there's 3 key takeaways I can give you guys from this match. 1. Make sure you're not just considering where you are, but where you want to be in relation to your enemies. 2. You see a broadside? Shoot it. And 3. If all else fails, blame the broken ship and not your inability to position correctly against it. Watch your broadsides, ladies and gentlemen. They hurt when you get hit. This is probably my best game this rank season. I only made it to rank 4, but you know what? That's good enough for me. World of Warships is fun. It's a game. It's good to do good in it. However, there is more important things in life, and you know what? They take priority sometimes. It's been a load of fun, guys, to bring you back another game. Hopefully, I will get back into producing YouTube videos on a somewhat regular basis, is my hope. So for that, I would like to put forth a question. What video would you like to see me do next? You have the option of one of my 2 favorite ships, either the Perth or the Massachusetts. Make sure you drop a comment in the description. No, that's not how that goes. Make sure you leave a comment below letting me know which one you would like to see, and we will make that video for next time. I'll see you real soon, guys. Make sure you stop by the stream on Saturday and Sunday and stop by for more fun with them. Bye for now.